back inside the Now Morning Show. Hope you're having a great morning so far. We definitely are, and we're going to talk this morning about a brand new book that's launching on November 9th. To do that, I want to welcome the author of the book, Father Mark Georges. Good morning to you, Father.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
How are you doing this morning?
Very well, thanks. Yeah,
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Tell me a little bit about the work that you do at Sweetbriar House.
Okay, well, my work is really to give a spiritual direction to young people, which is like coaching, if you want, and bringing out the best in them. And of course, well, part of that is, as a priest especially, I try to help people to figure out how to get that grace that they need. And so I administer the sacrament of confession. So I spend a lot of time doing confession. So that's something very special. I don't think you can you can do confession.
No, I ought not to.
No.
I ought to. Me? Not me.
Yeah,
I is not the one.
Exactly.
But I really am interested in some of the challenges that you would face, not in confession, obviously, but in terms of being able to help children, especially, get through that spiritual growth and to get that grace, especially in 2024.
Yes. Okay, well, I'm really glad you asked that question. Today is the Feast of All Saints, actually. So that the saints are in heaven. There are some saints who are like beacons. Like, like in the Head of Trinidad, we have a big beacon and ships see the light and can find their way. But if you really want to find your way, you need a lot of little street lights.
Right.
That without street lights, the whole place is in darkness. So today celebrates the fact that, Christianity is not just about big beacons, but it's also all those little lights, all the saints who in the ordinary life that they reflect the life of Christ. They're also sources of grace and blessings for others. So that my job is to help people, you can say, to do that, to be saints. And talking about the challenges, for me, I think the big challenge today is, and this brings us to the actually, I think one of the main things is the topics of the book, which is that you really need a change of hearts. That I think today, people are a little tired of being told what to do. They want to see it for themselves. So that to do that, it's all about the inside, understanding how do I discover what is true and what is good. So I found that is one of the biggest challenges I have. And then secondly, also the environment in which we live. That, that there are a lot of prejudices. I don't know if that's a good word to use. People feel, because you're rich and then you're poor and then black and then you're white and then you
all these divisions, all these things that divide us already.
Yeah, all of these things are very confusing, for people. So we need a way to help people to navigate all of that. And I think that we need to put in the forefront the dignity of the human person, so that we see whoever the person is. It was wonderful yesterday we celebrated Diwali. We have to see in everyone, religion, race doesn't have to divide us. We can see in each other, brother, sister. And that's again something from the inside. You have to, have to really come to terms with that. And then in the environment also, I think as a church, educators, we have missed a very important point, which is the idea of the education of the whole person. That has just disappeared. It just kind of fell by the way.
Yeah.
The kind of expression I use is that in our kind of quest for progress, we've sort of thrown for change and for addressing all these issues that we just spoke about. We've kind of come up with, we say we want to fix things, we want to overthrow, and we've lost sight of fundamentals. So it's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We want to fix things which need to be fixed.
Right.
But we've thrown out fundamentals. I mean, to bring that back. See, so that's like another huge challenge. I think.
Now, I realize that more and more we have this challenge, like you say, of defining the balance, right? And the balance isn't always easy to find, nor is it always readily available. So, yes, I agree with you 100% that in our quest for finding what is right and what is good and what is just, we tend to throw away things that we think are bad and negative. But when we throw away some of those things, we throw away some, like you said, of the fundamentals. So the book is called The Anthropology of Integration.
Big words.
Yeah. And that just means how we getting together. Finding a nice, easy way for us to collaborate, right?
Well, but again, that is true, definitely. But also it begins, first we have to collaborate on the inside, all different parts of us, you see? So that there is, so that the human person, there are three dimensions to the human person. So there is our biology, there's emotions, and then our spirit. So that's the first thing that needs to get along. Those different aspects. Sometimes our emotions take us over here.
Of course.
Or just the biologically, we have issues and that takes us over here. And so we need to
to find a way to bring all three
yes,
together.
Absolutely.
So I realize that now in
yes.
society, we have a lot of focus on mental health,
yes.
which is like you mentioned, the emotions
yes,
and some of the biology.
Yes.
We've been also focusing on physical health, which is the
yes.
actual biology.
Yes.
And then the church tends to be the one that focuses on the spiritual aspect
yes.
of things. But you're saying that we want to have the integrated approach from the church
yes.
for all of them.
That's it. Use the magic word. Integrated. That's it. Yes. That's a magic word.
How do we integrate it? How do we encourage the church to integrate it?
Yes, so that integration is, we have to always keep in mind the whole person.
Right.
So we can't forget the spiritual dimension. What the book suggests is that integration, at least on the inside, works in two ways. So there is where, believe it or not, that our biological, and the book calls it inclinations or impulses, and even the emotional longings that we have, if we read them correctly, they actually lead us to understand fundamental values that are spiritual. So let me
give me an example of that.
Let me give you an example.
Because I have some religious pastors that have nothing to do with spirituality.
Well, they actually do.
Tell me more.
That's the beauty of the book.
Tell me more.
Okay, very simple one. Let's suppose, food, right?
Right.
So I can look at food. If I'm hungry, I want to eat it. Mm-hmm. If I think that, it's going to make me look ugly, I may not. Right? So it's putting me in different dimensions. So the same thing. But then so on the spiritual side, I now have to grapple with those things and to say, well, food, what is the whole purpose of food? And then I realize it's for health. And then why health? Health is for life. See, and then life, and then I realize life is a value. And I realized, it's not just a value for me. So it's not just about me now just to eat all I should. Mm-hmm. Or it's not just about, I shouldn't eat now. Maybe I'm in a birthday party. Maybe my guest offered me yesterday. Maybe I'm with a guest and I don't want to, make them look bad. Yeah. And then my spirit now tells me the right thing to do would be, okay, let me just have a little bit. Yeah. And so that now is where
the balance comes.
Yeah, but you saw how biology and emotions led me to understand that health, even though I was hungry, but my spirit can tell me that it's life, is a value, and help me to take into account. I have to see I'm with other people, and that I have to take that into account as well. So I start, and there I make a good decision. I don't know if you understand, it's kind of complex. The book talks a lot about that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I understand that you broke up the book into a couple different parts. So we have levels of being, the teaching strategy, 3 dimensions, and values and virtues.
Correct.
I get in that what you just mentioned there would be in the values and virtues category.
Yes, well, that is actually we're still in the levels of being and especially the 3 levels.
The 3 dimensions.
The 3 dimensions.
That's the physical, emotional, and spiritual.
That's what we're integrating.
Right.
So we talk about upward integration, which is how when we try to decode our feelings, we understand values. But there's a downward integration where I accept these values and I try to live according to them. So that's where decision making. So that is the downward, I call it formative integration takes place. So that is where at the party, I'm not just given to my eat all I want.
Right.
Nor do I just don't eat because I don't want to look fat, but I will now make a right decision where I would say I would take a little bit because I'm in the guest, I'm in a party, and that is the right decision to make. So the spirit then, it takes control. So we've covered that slide as well. The next one is what I think, this was the levels of being, we covered that one.
Right.
Then if you could go to the next slide, which is one we just covered.
Right.
And then the third one is where the book talks about the teaching strategy. So that would be the next step.
And what is the teaching strategy?
Very interesting. So then our teaching strategy now becomes one where you have sort of 3 points. And one is knowing, accepting, and doing. Knowing, accepting, and doing. So the thing is we try to, remember at the beginning we spoke about young people that they sort of want to know things, they want to understand things for themselves on the inside,
right.
And it has to be free. So then the way we teach people about values is by asking questions. You don't tell them, you do this, do this, do that, do this, do this, do that, which sometimes that is how.
Yeah, negative blowback. You'll get some negative blowback from that.
You get a lot of pushback from that. And unfortunately, nobody likes to be told what to do.
Amen to that.
Oh, and young people nowadays. Forget it.
I think young people of every generation have that challenge where you want to fight back, you want to be a little bit rebellious, you don't want people to tell you what to do.
Absolutely.
You want to figure out and navigate life accordingly.
Right. So that's the whole point of the strategy.
Right. So the strategy is ask a bunch of questions so that you are able to figure it out yourself.
Ask the questions.
Father, where do we get access to this book?
Okay, so this book is available on Amazon. You just go there and you can say integration, Anthropology of Integration. It comes up. It is available. There's a website. Now, my launch is being sponsored by a group called Communities Alive. They actually have a program to transmit values and virtues in school using this teaching methodology of knowing, accepting, doing.
Right.
So it's really teaching through stories. So it's not telling you, okay, today we're going to learn about sharing. No, it tells you a story and you have to figure out what the value is.
It's kind of like the Bible.
It's like the Bible, although taught in parables.
Yeah.
Exactly. So on the website for that organization, you just go click on the shop and I have a QR code there, but people can scan.
I wonder if they could scan it. This is the pre-order QR code.
They can see it, yeah.
I don't know if you could zoom in and get a little scan to happen there. If you want to scan it, get your phones out now, and we're about to zoom into the QR code so that you can scan it and pre-order the book one time. Just scan it right there on your screen. I'm sure it'll work. Just try it. You get it? Good job.
Nice.
Fantastic. So now we have the pre-orders.
I'm impressed with that zoom. That's very powerful.
Hey, professional cameras we're dealing with here. No further. All right. So this book is officially launching on the 9th of November.
That's correct.
So anybody who scanned just now, they get 20% off.
Yes.
The retail price is actually $240. But if you scanned it just now with the pre-order, you're paying $190 for it.
That's correct.
All right. So when it launches, we can go to Amazon and get it.
No, it's already available
so
on Amazon.
So we can pre-order on Amazon
This is to pre-order locally.
Yeah,
you go on with the thing locally, you go through, you put in all the information, and it tells you how to pay, and then you pick up around the corner.
All right. Well, Father, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you for this book. I think it definitely can help our society because we're in a place where we need to find that balance. We need to figure out how to reintegrate the biology with the emotions, with the spiritual.
The spirit, that's right. The whole person.
The whole person.
The whole person.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Father.
And
do
pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
And our sign didn't fall. You know that.
Tell them have faith. Once you have faith, everything will be all right. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we take a quick break and we come back with more on the Now Morning Show. Stick around.
Okay.
Education, this is the foundation.